oh, we're in trouble. Someone's going on and it must have bubble. Yeah, yeah. I don't believe this movie has I think it did have a soundtrack.
It did. And the soundtrack has like Van Halen. It has Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's like the old techno group KMF.
It is so
DM.
90s.
It is very
such
90s.
a 90s movie.
And oh my God, we are back for a brief moment. Welcome back to Super Throwback to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago and beyond. I am your guy, Jan Alonzo. With me, of course, is my guy,
David Danger Neff. What's going on, partner?
What is the deal, man?
This is, we're going to get more into the reason for the hiatus.
Yes.
Very briefly today. And then when we're officially back, which is just going to be in a couple weeks, we're going to do so. But this is a very special show because a very special opportunity actually presented itself. But before that, partner, how you doing?
What's going on, man? I feel like we haven't been on these mics in a minute.
It's been, we're so rusty.
We're kind of rusty. Just as energetic as ever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm okay. I want to say a personal thank you to the center folks out there. As we go through this little hiatus, I still love Dave, so there's no beef between us, obviously.
No, there's no beef between us. This is like, oh, okay, we need a break.
Yeah, we need a break. Some things had happened during this time that a break was definitely needed. With that being said, just to give a quick update with everything, the main cause of the break was a dear friend of mine, someone I've known since I was 10 years old, had passed away. And obviously, when you have that best friend, like we all do, and somebody you've grown up with from childhood to adulthood, the effect of it was much more deeper than one could really expect. So really, it was just a much warranted time off. But besides that, though, rest in peace to my guy, Marquaz Coleman. This is for you, my brother. I love you for life. Shout out to the entire family. Thanks for allowing me to be a part of your lives. And thank you for sharing him with us for so long. And once again, rest in peace to my dear friend, Marquaz Coleman. This show is for you. All right. With that being said, also we had to take some time off, man.
We really did.
It was just time to take some good time off. How you been?
There's been a lot of more positive than you.
You don't call.
Yeah.
You don't text.
This is so bad.
Like when we break, we break.
When you just need to unplug for a little bit, and that's literally what I did. Like, so I had my first camping trip. That was fascinating. Mm-hmm. It was it was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. Had like the tents out. It was a lot of fun. Again, I am going to push a little bit more today, getting to the topic at hand, because today is just, man, when opportunity knocks, you got to kind of take it. When opportunity knocks,
you got to kind of just go through that door, man. And that's really, we wanted to stick to the hiatus for those who follow us on the various social medias. We are scheduled to come back July 1st. But we get a call, and this is where I'm so proud of my PIC, my partner in crime over here, because while I was doing my own thing, he was able to get an exclusive interview with was arguably the most popular, the biggest star of what we now know today as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's right.
Now I'm going to go ahead and just give you your just due, give you your props, because what I heard from, and you guys are going to hear it very, very soon, because we are going to cut to that interview very soon. What I heard on this interview and how professional you sounded. And then it was more so how you guys went from simply interviewer and interviewee to like bros.
Right. It was, okay, so I'm going to kind of set a little bit of the stage here. I was given notice of this, and it's one of those things where it's like, when God gives you a sign, to say, you know what? Why don't you stop like being in your own world for a little bit and like start reaching out? So I reached out to Los. And, he was like, oh, I thought you were on hiatus. And I'm like, oh, we are on hiatus, but, I'm still here. We got Las Vegas Comic-Con that's coming up this weekend.
Yes.
And that is going to be June 14th through the 16th at the Las Vegas Convention Center. It starts 3 p.m. on Friday, and it's going to go all the way through Sunday. And I think it ends on Sunday at 9 p.m. Could be wrong on that, but it's supposed to be an all-weekend thing. It's a really, really cool event that here, as any Comic-Con basically is.
And we will be in the house as well. So don't forget, BTTC will be there.
We will. We're hoping Hollywood Kev can come through. We know Los definitely wants to come through, and hopefully Lex from Like Water for Chocolate can also come through. So we got all the credentials to get in there. Now we just got to show up. So I said, yeah, I'm ready for opportunity and whatnot. He sends me a text like an hour later, and he's like, what are you doing at 4:45? I had like a meeting to do. It was a little insane. So suddenly I'm finding out that I have to do an interview with Jason David Frank, who plays Tommy, the green/white ranger of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as the rest of the incarnations that would later come on through this. But that's really what he's known for. And when that happened, I was like, okay, I kind of have to like prep this as best I can. So we did this interview. It was fantastic. My prep time for it was literally 3 hours. So that was me typing up the questions, me thinking of good stuff, and having like 5 to 7 minutes of questions, and hopefully kind of hoping that Jason would like the questions and would be able to answer. So that being said, now that you have the primer, without further ado, here's my interview with Jason David Frank.
Enjoy.
Let's do it, guys. Right. It's Morphin time.
We're definitely excited to have you over for Las Vegas Comic-Con. And I can't tell you how excited I am. This is a really, really awesome opportunity that you're giving us here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Definitely. So to get started, with next year being the 25th anniversary of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, how does it feel to still have this enormous following and love from all the fans?
Man, it feels really good, to be honest. I was just saying that the fan base is growing, and I would say growing up, because it was huge, one of the #1 kid shows in the world, and now it's growing up. Everyone's older. They get to talk about all their exciting moments they've had, so I hear so many great stories, and it's, I've been staying active. I've been raised who I was from day one, and I think that's why my character is so popular, man. I never ran from who I was. During the ups and the downs of the Power Rangers, I was there. When it was in the trenches, I was trying to pull it back up and dial something. I've been there from day one, and so have my fans. And I'm so pleased.
Awesome. You're no stranger, obviously, to being part of the culture of Comic-Con, from Con TV to the recently wrapped up Power Morphicon. Let me ask you, what was one of the best experiences you ever had attending one? Like, was there a particular costume that you saw that just really inspired you, that made you really feel appreciated?
It's weird. I sometimes get to ask that question, but I've done probably 200, 250 shows, and I was explaining that I do them for a hobby. So when I do these shows, promoters don't pay me. Either I get stuff at the table or I don't. I take care of people. But one thing that strikes me on every show is that almost a story tops another story. And the stories that strike me, I love all of them, but I have a heart for ones. The ones I had some guy come out and say, I was at suicide, so I turned on you, you saved my life, or I didn't have a father figure, man, and you helped me. And during these times, because people don't listen to kids sometimes, so they're struggling. Kids are struggling. I mean, there's so many things out there now, like drugs and all this other stuff, that you were a positive thing where you had to go home and watch TV. We kept you in the house. Now you can watch us on devices or Netflix. Kids don't need to run home no more. They can watch it in the car. But I really thought at one point that we took you at home and gave you that half-hour entertainment and also gave value. So every show is just amazing. I mean, I have people being married in front of me, to people tattooing my name, so many good things.
Wow.
Nothing's really bad that happened at a time that I can be disappointed at. Everything's good.
Awesome. A few months ago, you were on that hashtag show, and you announced that you're actually training your daughter Jenna. One of the things that really spoke out to me when you were giving this, because I had a written transcript, you said that you wanted to teach her a little bit of humility outside of the personal journey. For her, do you think it's possible that eventually she could actually take up the Power Rangers mantle?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're planning, man. We're doing a big project with that son, and I was going to announce my daughter's part of that project and leave it to everyone's imagination what it is. It'll be released in about a week or so. But yeah, she's part of it, and I think she learned one time. I was at Rhode Island Comic Con years ago when she was little, and I didn't know she was doing this, but she was dressed as a Dino Thunder, like, the cheap costumes you get, like, whatever, Target or whatever, and she was there, and I was doing my thing, and, she was charging like $1 for autographs and a picture, and I said, Jenna, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not what we do. We don't just go out there and put a hat out there, and she says, no, Daddy, I'm raising money for a church, and I said, oh, really? Okay, so she continued doing that, and one guy came up, and she signed an autograph, and she had this look on her face, and she crossed her arms and powdered down, and I said, what's wrong? She's like, she didn't give the church $1. I said, Jenna, it's not about what they give. Do your job anyway. Let that guy go. Let him enjoy it. I said, it's okay. Maybe she didn't have $1 to give. Well, anyway, she raised about $113, $14
Wow.
in change and dollars, and she actually took the bag of money, and I told her, Jenna, that's great, but, God don't need all your money. I mean, you can give a little bit if you want, and, you work hard. She said, no, she took the whole bag and gave it to the pastor in front of everyone, and then at that point I figured, that's it. She has the heart to be a ranger, because in life it's not about profit. You have a purpose, and you have passion, and those two things will equal profit. That's why when you see all these big stars or music guys that are kind of sick, and they say, all I want to do is sing, and I don't want to deal with the public eye. Well, they did. They brought their art, they had the passion and the purpose, and they made the profit, but some people don't mix with fans, and I love that aspect of it, because if it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't be here. So I definitely want to train her, keep her on the right road, and she's beautiful. Her birthday's coming up June 16th, and she's definitely, so what we're going to release, and Bat the Sun will basically release that in about a week or so. So she's definitely involved on that project.
Awesome. One final question for you. Over the last few months, you presented your own poetry through your new YouTube channel, JDF Spoken Truth. Personally, I got to say, I absolutely love the poem Mask. It's very relatable. It really feels like we're building a connection with you. What made you decide to express yourself artistically through your poetry?
Well, first of all, thank you for talking about that, man, because, the stuff that I do with the poetry stuff, I do that for, I film with Code Creek, with a great production company. It costs a little bit of money, but I put that on YouTube to change people's lives. So when I tell people, go watch YouTube, it's not for a financial benefit. It actually costs me money to produce those. But I've wrote on and off for 10 years, 15 years. I can understand, and I can maybe put a feeling better into poems. I've wrote about 100 in the last 5-6 months. Mask was one of those things where I felt like we could all relate. Some people are like, yeah, JDF, are you tired of being an actor? It's not about that, man. It's just about having a mask that we all wear in life. And sometimes we wear it too much that we're not focusing on our problems. And so I started writing to focus on some of the issues, like, losing my mom and losing my brother and dealing with life and trying to deal with things, and we can all relate to it. And if people saying that you're not wearing a mask, then you're wearing a mask of ignorance, and you're wearing a mask of you're not realizing it, because we all do. And we can be genuine, but there's times where we just have to go through life and smile at the clerk and do what we got to do. I just was inspired because I just wanted to lay down the rules that no celebrity is better than anyone else, that we all deal with stuff. I have one called Fight Isn't Done. Johnny Bosch scored it, and basically talks about being a warrior, being a soldier, and when you're tired and you want to give up, you stand back up and pick up your gun and keep fighting, and basically never give up. And that's the trick to life. Everyone, hey, life's not fair. It's not fair. We're going to lose people. We're going to go through financial ups and downs. We're going to go through our own struggles with mental things that we have, because I grew up with ADD. I grew up with all these different things. And then I see Zachary, who's great at shows. He played Shazam. Zachary Levi.
That's right.
And he's
great movie.
He's supporting this mental health issues that needs to be addressed. Because I'm not normal. I go through my ups and downs, and I figure out to just write about it, and people can relate to me, because I can let them know behind cameras. I morph one leg at a time. I've got to put my suit on one leg at a time. Even though on TV it looks like I just morph into a suit, but I'm just like you, and we all deal with it. And I think people can come out more and talk about being bullied, like leaving me a page of things that are just, hey, I wanted to tell you this has been on my chest, and I give them credit for putting it on my page for millions to see. It's a relief off their shoulders, like, well, Jason went through that, so, oh my God, thank you, I'm normal. And, being normal is not normal. We're not all normal. And people that go to church say they never sin, come on. We all do things that we regret. And change is a transformation little by little. It's not overnight. So we have to see things. And I just started writing to make myself feel better and see all these positive things. And I always got those little, people out there putting thumbs down, being little bullies on the bully thing, or whatever. And those, it's very, very rare you have those people, but they're just haters. And those are people that really need this more than anyone else, to be honest. But I love it, and I filmed a short film. It's like the only thing that's ever been done in the world. It's a long poem, about a 7-minute poem, and I played 8 different characters. And it's a great acting piece for me. And it deals with issues, kind of like that little cartoon, where like people are talking in your brain. I forgot what it's called, but I love that cartoon. But it's kind of what goes on in your head. It deals with certain things, confronting certain issues and mental health things. So that's going to be really great. And with Cold Creek, they do it. I mean, some of the stuff looks great, and that's the reason why I got them. But they also believe in me. You present a script to someone, and you got to believe in the script in order to work on it. You can't just put your time into something that's that you don't believe in.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Wow, I'm really inspired after definitely hearing that. Jason, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to actually speak with us here at Beat Network. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. So that was the interview with Jason David Frank. Shout out to JDF for that great interview. Shout out to Danger Neff over here for fanboying out real quick.
Oh man, I was geeking out so bad.
Oh, it was dope, man.
I called like my sister afterwards. I was like, I got to talk to Tommy.
How awesome was that? And of course, as business as usual, we got some 2-minute drill to do.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. You ready?
I am ready.
2-minute drill starts now. Okay, Red Ranger and the Black Ranger have 2 special moves that they do together. Name those 2 moves.
Can't tell you. One of them is a smash together. Maybe a corkscrew.
It's actually the double whammy and up and over.
The double whammy and the up and over. All right.
Great name.
The double whammy. So 90s. All right. The cast has 6 Power Rangers, right? Who were the original 3 Power Rangers that were replaced by the Red, the Black, and the Yellow Ranger?
Yellow Ranger was Trini.
Okay.
Black Ranger was Zach. And the Red Ranger was Jason.
Yep, you got it.
Mm-hmm. When was Ivan Oo's original reign?
6,000 years ago.
That is correct.
All right. Let me think of a good one here. What were the names of the Bird Warriors?
Oh God.
3, 2, 1.
I was called the Bird Warriors.
No, they're known as the Tengu Warriors.
The Tengu Warriors.
The reason why I know that is because of my D&D days, but Tengu is a race class. Never mind. Yep. Let's not get into that.
Nerd. All right. What does Billy say before jumping out of the plane in the beginning?
Surf's up.
Incorrect. All systems go.
All systems go.
That was Billy's signature catchphrase. We got 22 seconds.
All right. What is the name of the saber the White Ranger holds?
Saber.
Yep, you got it.
Who must the Rangers call upon to obtain the special powers?
The Ningetsu. The Ningetsu
Close.
Spiritual Warriors, Dalcia.
That would be
Five,
times.
Zordon.
It's actually the sacred animals of the Ninjetti. Oh my God, that's 2 minutes. Did I win that?
You kind of rocked it, actually.
Oh, you see what time off does for you? You be more
It
focused.
comes all fresh.
You watch
you know?
stuff. And of
He's
course,
technically on a 2-movie winning streak, I think.
my guy. So, with that being said, if you don't know what we were talking about, we are taking it back, super throwback style, to 1995 with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the first movie. Original release date, June 30th of 1995. Shares opening weekend with Apollo 13 and Judge Dredd. Not a bad weekend at the movies.
Well, Judge Dredd was kind of whatever, but Apollo 13 was rock
Wait a
solid.
minute. Whoa. We're not going to just say Judge Dredd wasn't okay.
I am.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, Rob
Rob
Schneider.
Schneider? Come on now.
Come on now.
Come
on. The movie Dredd was 1,000 times better than that.
Of course it was. But we're not going to say Stallone didn't carry Judge Dredd the best way he could.
Sure.
Whatever. Anyway.
He carried a lot of those 90s movies.
Production budget was at $15 million with a box office total of $66.4 million.
That's huge.
It really is. That's a little come up. That's like damn near
That's 4 times your budget.
almost like Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Very Blumhouse.
Yeah.
And currently sitting at a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now,
That is unfair because this movie is so campy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's unfair because the movie isn't supposed to be targeted to critics or even adults.
Right.
It's a kids movie.
Right.
Now, Power Rangers came out 1993?
92.
All right.
No, I think you're right. I think the original was 93.
So 1993, and I need to paint a little bit of the scenario there. I was only speaking Spanish at this point when Power Rangers first came on. I grew up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then Power Rangers was the next big thing. And when I say it was the next big thing, I mean it took off. They had so many different other spin-offs of Power Rangers, from Beetleborgs, Big Bad Beetleborgs, to VR Troopers, which also started one of the voices of the Power Rangers. That it was actually a little ridiculous, like how impressive this was, because this was based off of a Japanese show, obviously, and it had such a cultural impact there that I don't think anybody saw that this was going to take off the way that it was going to take off.
And that's one of the most beautiful things about the Power Rangers. It was one of those moments in your childhood that, whether you're from America or any country, it was universally loved by children.
Absolutely.
And I remember, God, during its heyday, Halloween, all you wanted to be was a Power Ranger.
Right.
I would tell you, and I think Lo's supposed to be to tell you, but I'm going to tell it anyway. We were Power Rangers one Halloween. I was a Red Ranger. He was a Blue Ranger. And, we acted as such. But
that's what it is. It's so dope. Not only that, but Power Rangers is now celebrating its 26th season. It's still on. Like, it hasn't stopped. It hasn't even really taken a break. It's just had different iterations of it.
Right.
The best part about it is that they constantly bring back old cast members. For example, just now with the latest Power Rangers, which is Power Ranger Beast Morphers, Austin St. John, who was the original original Red Ranger, Jason, it plays like one of the veteran Power Rangers in it. They constantly have, they'll bring back like Amy Jo Johnson for one. They'll bring back David Yost, who played the Blue Ranger. And of course, the most popular one, no doubt about it, was always Jason David Frank.
Right.
But the cool thing about, and this is my little fan service to Jason David Frank, it wasn't just so much that Tommy was cool, but he was cool also as just a person. Like a lot of like the stunts in this movie that involved him, they were actually him that was doing it. There were a couple of them, like the skydiving scene, which he can skydive. He skydives like once a month or something like that. They could not contractually have him do that, but it's just cool. Like he's just a cool overall guy. That just believes in this.
And he provides, well, they all do, but he provides to me some of the awesome,
Oh, yeah.
and I love, and Power Rangers is so campy. It's so campy, in the movies are campy, the shows is campy. It's so campy, you learn to just love it.
I had the video game that led with this movie also.
Yes, and it was great.
It really was.
On Sega?
Yeah.
It was
the Sega Genesis? Yeah, man.
Great.
It was amazing.
Listen, I love the fact that when they're in full garb, right, in their Power Rangers thing, no matter what they do, it's a no matter what they do, it was a swish with it, I thought that was so dope, And so, this movie's no different. And kind of getting into the movie now, the level of excitement that most fans felt, if not all fans felt, to know that there was a movie coming.
Oh, yeah.
I get to go to the movie theater to see the Power Rangers.
Right, exactly.
As if I don't see them enough at 3 o'clock on Fox.
Right.
But I can go to the movies now and see them down too. But when the movie opens and you have this, I won't say Star Wars, but the epilogue, obviously.
Right. It's like
to learn more about Zordon,
it's a title scroll.
Right.
They're doing a title scroll, and it's all like, no, I'm good. I don't really
I
need it.
kind of don't care to need. Right. It's good
to
know.
I know who Rita and Lord Zed is. All right.
I know who Zordon is.
I know who the putties are, and I know how to beat the putties.
Thank you, God. There's no putties in this movie.
That would have been bad.
Well, I've been losing Blue, so just kind of make up for the putties. But whatever. But as we get. As you go through the title cards and they're kind of explaining the backstory, I remember as a kid, the theater lighting up.
Oh, yeah.
When they showed Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, man.
The movie. Kids lost it.
Absolutely.
Lost it.
It's funny because we talk about like other kids' movies that really impacted us. And we talk Good Burger, right? We talk the Rugrats movie, which also was great. But I really felt like the mold was broken when Power Rangers came out because it was like, this is something you watch as a TV show. It'd be like if like Thundercats came out, in the 1980s, or if He-Man came out as a live, which it did as Masters of the Universe, obviously. But it was so impactful at that time, and it was literally at the peak of Power Rangers at that point because it had been stunningly popular at that point. You wore a Power Ranger for Halloween. I owned all the Zorgs from this movie.
Oh, we have all the tapes.
Oh, yeah.
The show, the seasons on tape.
Absolutely. And it was so impactful. And this movie really kicks off beautifully.
Yeah.
Because it can only do it. They didn't really want to like do it slow. They were like, no. We're going to make this as awesome as we can. So, of course, everybody is skydiving, along with fan favorites
Bulk and Skull.
Bulk and Skull. Dude, they are awesome, and they're awesome in the TV show also. I'm serious, they are.
Well, they were introduced at one point as like the bullies, but at the same time, they were like, they're idiots.
Right.
They're just there to laugh at,
But they played their role so well that you kind of like... You kind of have to put them in there as well. You like, and that's what they really like this movie's all fan service. They're all jumping out and it looks like navy blue angels, flying down. They're doing tricks.
But you know what? Okay. So just to jump on that real quick, to go back to the fanboys of Power Rangers, right? So as they're all jumping out the plane, they're all saying their signature phrase as they jump out like Billy says, "All systems go" before he jumps out.
Right.
Tommy says, "Surfs up," jumps out. Banzai from Adam. Like they all have a phrase they say. Campy, but you love it. Now, the one thing I definitely hate about this scene, and this is me as a film fan, because I remember seeing the same exact camera trick in another movie. Now, the movie I'm talking about, Drop Zone.
Right.
Now, there's this part where Adam. I forgot what they call it, but when they kind of twirl down.
Right.
The same frame
when they helicopter down.
Yeah, it's the same frame in Drop Zone, like the same exact frame in Drop Zone. Take the Black Ranger, put like Gary Busey. It's literally the same frame.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And I saw that as a kid. I'm like, isn't that Drop Zone? That's Drop Zone. You know what I'm saying?
But this is cool, and not only is this cool, but you get this opening shot. They're all coming down. You got Red Hot Chili Peppers playing Higher Ground like there, and I'm like, this is like as 90s as it gets, and they come down.
It feels good though.
Oh, it does. They come down, and one of the cool things about the Power Rangers is that they were always into, like, I guess you could say, extreme sports.
Yes,
because they come down. They
were Triple X before Triple X.
Right. They all come down. They land perfectly on this bullseye, of course. Right. And then immediately afterwards, they're skating. And I mean, they're doing tricks on these rollerblades. And I'm like, this is why it's so cool. I never want to walk anywhere.
Did you agree that the first 10 minutes, like, yo, they're having so much fun?
Right.
They're such a cool group to hang with. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
you wanted to be one of them. You wanted that camaraderie.
Yeah. You never questioned where Zach was, where Trini was, where Jason was. Like, it's all good.
Right.
Aisha's dope. Rocky's dope.
Right.
Adam's dope. I'm in. Let's do it. And so as they go from the skydiving thing to immediately going skating, I'm like, you're not tired?
Right. I'm like, you just jumped out of an airplane. They're like, all right, we're gonna go skating later. And it's like, hey, I think the beach is still open. We can probably catch a couple waves afterwards. And then I was thinking about, like just joining a wrestling tournament just to see what would happen.
And you know what? Stunt driving. Yep, let's do that. But you know what? This movie does have that thing that most 90s cliche movies would have that's really campy like that. You do
montage.
Definitely a montage. But you also have this thing of you got your kid, you got your side kid, and his dad, who we meet. Right. His dad's a firefighter. Dad's kind of plain, but
is he a firefighter?
I believe he's a firefighter.
I think you're right. Ben
is his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben's father is a firefighter.
All right.
And Ben has this fantasy to want to be a Power Ranger.
Right.
Because does he know the Power Rangers? Because
I don't want to say that it's not heavily implied, but it is a bit implied.
It's like he knows they're Power Rangers.
I think it's implied. Okay. Here was the one thing that always kind of made me laugh about the Power Rangers. Why are you dressed exactly like the costumes? Why are you color blocked?
I
get it. I love it. I love seeing Tommy in the all white. I love Kimberly
all pink.
Kimberly is Johnson, obviously. She's in all pink, showing off her stomach and
all yellow for Aisha.
Right.
Rocky's in all red. I'm like, why? So you are the Power Rangers. Gotcha. Right. That's all you wear.
Right. So you're like, wait a minute. How are these guys like why do they? That was the one thing that always kind of made me laugh about it. But to fast forward just a little bit, we get Bulk and Skull Bulk and Skull land afterwards into this construction site. And I kind of have to question the construction worker here a little bit, because they clearly land in the construction site, right?
Yeah.
And they said, hey, you guys aren't supposed to be in here. They're like, oh, well, we're with the Angel Grove, like,
you skydived here?
Building inspector's office. What are you doing? That building's supposed to be over there. As a kid, I didn't get that. As an adult, I laughed out loud. Like, this isn't The Sims. You can't just pick up a building and move it over.
You built the whole building and put it in the wrong place? But never mind that. You skydived down here to tell me that?
Oh, it's so 90s, but I love it.
But as a kid, you let it rock. You're a kid.
Right.
You don't know any better.
That's where my unrealistic expectations. Your whole thing on unrealistic expectations of these high school movies we do. I thought as I became an adult, I would rollerblade everywhere. I would skydive to go to work every weekend.
Yeah. No.
It's like, no, I still have a 9 to 5.
I have a life to live, but
in fact, I need gas money. Where's that at?
Yeah, I'll drive. Yeah, it's all good. But now, also when you kind of suspend disbelief, when they noticed the opening to what we now know as the egg of ooze.
Right. First of all, this dragon claw comes out. whoever the effects department is there to actually build that out, kudos to you, because that was dope.
But
like this giant chicken egg.
Before you get to that though, when they say, hey Frank or whatever, you want to come and see this? That thing's been dusted off already. It's been there.
Right.
It's been there. But
right, this isn't like digging up a dinosaur.
Yeah, like it's been there.
It's a sewer cover that has a dragon's face on it.
That somebody brushed off to get to it, apparently.
Like, go ahead and touch it, Frank. You know?
Yeah, And so, okay, so in comes our favorite villain. No, let me take it back. No, it's not. But Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, the pig, I forgot the pig's name, and Goldar. And they pretty much know what they're there to do.
Right. And it's just so cool to kind of see like this effect of this dragon claw just like opening itself up. And then the egg, it's like it cracks itself in a certain way, because it like splits down the middle and then goes completely around. So it's like perfectly cracked open. And then you just get like this ooze, this purple ooze. It's just like saying in there. She's all like, we came all the way out here for this?
6,000 years for a tub of snot?
For a tub of snot? And then it begins to formulate, and it has to be the campiest, but also most awesome villain I thought I saw as a kid since the original It movie.
Before you even hit Ivan Ooze, we have to touch on Lord Zed. And Rita, for that matter, because Rita in the show was your villain.
And so was Zed, because season 2 had been out by that point.
Right. Now see, before we even got Zed, Rita was like the villain. I was like, okay, cool. Now, the dubbing of her voice in the show is the same dubbing of her voice in the movie. Even though she is clearly saying certain words that is in English, but the voice is definitely not her. Zed, when you first meet Zed's a beast. He's really there to do damage.
He's muscular, has no face, his brain is popping out. What they kind of panned over to Zed's face there for a second. His brain is moving.
He's always thinking.
Right. I'm sitting there. I'm like, that's cool, but really gross right now.
He's always
2019.
Thinking. He's always thinking. But how they turn Zed into like this beast of a villain to like, kind of a wimp. But even Goldar, I used to like. I love Goldar, but I also hated him too. Like, because he had the worst voice. He was the henchman that you hated.
He had the worst voice.
And then him and the pig thing. But him and the pig thing, they become this Amos and Andy thing. I'm just like, dude, okay, whatever. But anyway, now going into Ivan Ooze.
It's so
cool.
It's so classic because how he comes up, he comes up first of all stretching. He's like, stretches out.
Crunch.
He cracks his neck. Too many bones pop there for that action on both sides. Finally, I've been released, And the first thing Rita says, "Wow, he's so handsome! Wow, he's so handsome." He's all like, "Oh, well, thank you." And you realize that is who Ivan Ooze is going to
be. We can't forget the fact that he has been released in 6,000 years, but it talks like he just got out yesterday.
I know, like there's no coughing coming out or whatnot.
Not even that. Just his language.
Right.
He's talking straight 90s.
Right.
But he's been locked away for 6,000 years. Like, right. Okay. But I love the introduction. The introduction to Ivan Ooze is so dope because for the first time you really do have a villain like, okay, he could be goofy. He could be cheesy.
Oh, he's goofy.
But still be fearful.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like scary. You know what I'm saying?
Because he was overpowered almost. Right. Like if you think about even like towards the end of this movie, how exactly he was defeated. Mm-hmm. He wasn't defeated by the Rangers. He was defeated by a comet.
Right.
Like he broke their sword.
Right.
I want you to think about that.
Well, let's not forget the Megazord also need him in the nuts.
Yeah, that's where the PG comes in from the G-rated movie. But he was just so cool because I think of Tim Curry in It, and Tim Curry in It was scary and overpowered, but he was also so goofy in so many ways. He was, at the end of the day, he was still a clown at the end of it, and that's how I picture Ivan Ooze. Like Ivan was like this goofy but way too overpowered guy, You know.
Now, tell me this. Now, this is where camp really does come in. As that scene wraps up and Zed and Rita let him go do his thing, what is that odious stench? Smells like teenagers.
Don't get me wrong.
Dear Lord.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying teenagers don't smell or anything. But he was kind of right.
but listen. They're nowhere near him. They're nowhere near him.
It's the after scent. It lingers for him.
Wouldn't you smell Broken Skull first then?
That is who he's smelling.
Oh, God.
He's not thinking about the Rangers. He smelled Bulk and Skull first.
So is your beef with Bulk and Skull then?
But keep in mind, the only thing he knows about is that Zordon is back. He hasn't even been introduced to the Power Rangers yet.
Right.
Power Rangers haven't even been said to him yet.
Right.
He said he's told to defeat Zordon. Right. And he gets irritated at the sound of that.
At the smell. Oh, yeah, there's that.
Right.
It also growls as well, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh, it was great.
Like, are you a dog? You're really upset.
So the Rangers at this point have gone back. They meet back up with Zordon and, of course, Alpha 5, who Alpha 5 was always one of those characters that, like, you can't really, like, replace him. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he is your favorite because he always goes, yeah. That was
Alpha was my guy. Alpha was my guy because he was down for Zordon.
If Alpha 5 was your wingman at a club,
well, it can either go your way or not go your way. But I mean, you see somebody like Alpha, like, hey, that's my man right there. You know what I'm saying?
No, Alpha's going to be like, yeah, this is my man right
Shut
there. But so they find out, obviously, that Ivan Ooze is back and they go, and the first thing they do is that they decide to go into, they go back basically to the grounds where Ivan's little thing is at. And Ivan is just kind of waiting him out. He actually transformed. First of all, he's able to perfectly make himself into another human being, yeah. No problem. Like you could not tell the difference there, yeah. Right?
Now, with that being said, I'll call that on bad CGI, but he goes, "What are the kids doing there?" And Kimberly happens to ask, "You see a morphological being around there?" Like,
right?
What? And he goes, "Morphological being."
Kimberly, do you normally ask that question to people?
To Frank, the security guard? No, you don't. But, he goes, morphological being, what the heck is that? Wait, this looks something like this.
And he turns into himself, right?
To Ivan Ooze. And, of course, this movie is so full of puns.
I love it.
Ew, gross. Like, shut up! Just fight!
But probably the best scene in there is how unafraid Ivan is of these Power Rangers, right? These are Power Rangers, by the way, that's able to take out his forces, no problem. Right. And this is where it gets a little hilarious for me, because Tommy comes up and he's all like, well, you haven't met us. We're the Power Rangers. It's like, well, get me an autograph.
Where's my autograph book?
Where's my autograph book?
Like
who cares?
Like, so.
I'm Ivan Ooze. I've been around forever.
No, I'm saying it again. I'm Ivan Ooze. I don't care about y'all.
So he throws out these, what would you call them? They have like tentacle hair.
I technically they're known as ooze monsters, basically.
And they were weird.
But funny thing enough, they were big.
Yeah, they were huge.
Like what you would think as like putty patrollers, just like maybe 3 feet taller,
right,
and a lot more like swole.
So this fight actually begins,
but just as dumb
with the Rangers. So let's keep in mind of something here. Tommy has now announced himself as the Power Rangers in the form of Tommy, not as the White Ranger.
Which I found weird.
A little. It's a little weird.
They wanted to build that momentum so that where they can, dress out and do what they do. But the fact that, you're right, he does introduce himself as the Power Rangers, and Tommy for him.
I really don't feel like, and that's where I have a problem with the script. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, you understand that if the Rangers win this one, you know, that if they don't defeat Ivan Ooze, that they're now solely targeted because he's seen all their faces, no problem.
Now, most people would think when he does make that where the Power Rangers line, somewhere soon they're going to morph out.
Right.
They'll morph out for like 7 minutes.
No, because they go and they start this impressive. Don't get me wrong, but you know you could definitely tell they were
action boy now,
right?
Action girl now.
I've never heard that song ever again outside of this movie.
Exactly.
And it's like this. It's a cool, you know. I mean, it's kind of cool little fight scene until they decide to finally transform. But there's one beautiful part about this scene because a lot of what the Power Rangers does is try to get themselves into a better position to fight. So, you know, teaming up with each other and whatnot. At one point in the fight, Kimberly and Billy are nowhere near everybody. So they're like,
race, yeah.
so they do essentially a backflip race, but they're still talking in the process of this backflip race.
Now we talked about that off camera, but I also in that same thing, they're flipping to the rest of the crew.
Right. I mean, this is a long like they're going like 500,000 feet. It feels like at least
they're just flipping. But the fact that once they all get together, and the one that's missing is Adam, and Adam comes flipping into the frame from God knows where. And I was like, oh, there's Adam. Where are you coming from? You know, mind you, as kids, you don't notice these type of things. Anyway, so they all get together, and finally, they morph, and it's the most beautiful thing ever.
Of course,
I mean, it's the most. We've come a long way from them in like spandex,
right,
to like full like armored,
right?
suits.
Yeah, no, they were armored. Yeah, like it looked good. Now it kind of cracked me up a little bit because one of the things that always made me laugh is you never really get to see the Power Rangers use their like weapons until the later seasons. So it's like. Technically, the Mastodon has an axe. Technically, I think the Red Ranger has a sword. I think the Yellow Ranger, and I'm going to be wrong, and somebody's going to correct me. I apologize now. I think the Yellow Ranger has size, actually. But you never actually get to see them use it. And this one, they really use like their little gadgets.
She had daggers.
Daggers.
She had daggers.
Yeah. So she actually. So my apologies. So she had daggers. And this one, they really use their weapons more so than ever than in the TV show.
Yeah, very, very true. Now, remember, don't forget when they use their stuff in the TV show. Like for example, when Tommy pulls out the little
right. Well, that's
campy as hell, but cool though at the same time.
Well, it's also the Green Ranger.
True, but just the fact that how they use certain things,
right? The Dragon Sword.
So now,
but I have to kind of question again a little bit of the writing because
the whole movie is questionable.
Because once again, they kind of go through like this garage looking area, right? Which is really like the bottom floor of the building.
Oh, I know the scene. This scene.
And they're over here and they're like activate like power lights or whatnot.
It's just two flashlights on.
I'm like just two flashlights. Like you go. Like no problem, you would have them out of the eyes of this
bright light
saber-toothed tiger.
Flashlights,
right?
And then
and then Rocky's like, what do you say?
Activating a power scope or something like that?
Activate power scope. And it basically blocks his vision, and you have the little Knight Rider light going back and forth.
Which is like night vision scope, which is like, you could have that when you first walked in here.
Right, exactly. Why didn't you have that on after you morphed?
Now, I didn't, I noticed this. I did notice this, but rewatching it, I'm like, oh, that's why he did that. So during this whole fight, Ivan Ooze is gone.
Yes.
And he sent them to fight the Power Rangers so he can go to
the command center because he knows where the command center is.
Right. And so I love how now this I will equate to the writing. The movie itself, actually, the movie never quite slows down for you. It kind of just goes.
Yeah.
Now, as Alpha's like, he's bugging out like he normally does, Zordon lets him know, like, listen, like, they didn't get there in time. Ivan Ooze on the way here now.
Right.
And literally cuts to the door, and there's already Ooze on the door.
Right.
So he's already come. He's already here.
Right.
Right. Only thing I don't like about that scene is that if this beef between Ooze and Zordon is so deep, I kind of wanted to be a bit more serious before he gets to destroying stuff.
That's where
the Brady Bunch reunion line is like, all right, listen, bro.
So many things that I missed.
Like,
the Black
The Black Plague. The blah, 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 militia. The Brady Bunch reunion.
I'm like, you knew about that?
That was 6,000 years ago.
Goes, winds up. Of course, Zordon gets heavily damaged through this. In the process, the Rangers do win, right? We actually get one little thing of Saba, which is always going to be my, you need to add more of that because that sword was just cool. Right. It was a talking lion on a sword.
I want you to meet Saba.
I want you to meet Saba. And, he didn't even talk. And I'm like, I really wish he would have talked. Anyway, so they defeat the Ooze Warriors. Go back. It looks like Zordon is heavily damaged. He is dying at this point. So they have to go to 2-minute drill question. What is the name of the moon they go to?
Phaedos?
Yes, you're correct. So they go to Phaedos. In this process, Ooze has decided to say, nah, Rita and Zed, you guys are way too weak.
Right.
He traps him. I really like this part. He traps him in a little snow globe. And you're getting the little mini voices of Rita and Zed, and they're so annoying. But that's exactly how I would have pictured it.
And how you want to see them in
just
shut up, just shut up. And of course,
goes hawks up a loogie, right? And this is where the Tengu warriors come. I mean, this is like somebody sitting there for 5 minutes, just doing that.
The loogie he throws out there. I remember my mom sitting in the theater when I was watching it. She goes, ew. No, he hawks the world's biggest loogie.
I could totally picture your mom be like, ugh.
But that's how it was. Because listen, he takes his time to really get that loogie out. You know,
Right. I mean, he's basically having a bowel movement there,
right? And he
getting this out.
He finally spits it. And he goes, ugh.
And he's like, "Oh, good distance.
That's good distance."
What?
Does that matter? That doesn't matter right now. But so out from this booger comes the Tengu Warriors,
right?
Which is basically birds.
Yeah, there's these giant birds that are warriors in itself. He says, "Go destroy the Power Rangers," right? And in this process, Ooze has a plan, and it's actually a little interesting. So, you guys forgot, I'm a master of disguise,
right?
And the idea is to basically sell these Ooze bottles, right? Not even sell them, just give them out for free to all the kids. Right. Once the parents touch the Ooze, then
they're under mind control,
right? Mm-hmm. And to be honest, this was actually kind of cool because I always worried that I was like, all right, they're going to he's going to go into disguise. He's obviously going to look like Ivan Ooze. I kind of got to give it credit after watching it today. His makeup job, while weird, was actually not that bad.
Just really just a dude in a wizard outfit.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And so he goes and gives out all this stuff. The best part about it is that he's rhyming this entire time.
Yes, and I thought that was actually quite clever with the writing, only because, especially even when he's not targeting the kids, he's targeting the parents.
Right, exactly.
Because the parents are going to get pissed off when they see this.
Right.
So what they do is he knows giving them away to the kids, the parents will see. And go from there. So the actual mark is to mind control the parents,
right?
Because really, they're trying to dig up these titans, these ectomorphicon titans.
Basically, I mean, it's a giant scorpion and it's a giant hornet. It looks like
yeah, I think
it is a hornet in the game, which is funny because in the video game, the hornet is much weaker than the scorpion. I remember the scorpion always giving me problems in that game until I figured out how to
actually no. The Hornet gave me more problems than the Scorpion did.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the Scorpion was pretty easy to get by. Nope, you're right. Take it back. I just thought about it as I said. No, the Scorpion
because he had that tail laser thing.
He doesn't come to the very end.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It was weird. Anyway, so the idea is to kind of mind control him, help dig him out, and then another plane is supposed to take him to place,
and then leap to your doom.
Leap to your doom.
We'll get to that in a second.
Leap to. The Rangers arrive in Phaedos, and almost immediately, first of all, there's a total cut that out scene, right at the beginning. They're like, guys, check this out, and they see the skeleton of something, right?
And they don't go back to it.
And they never go back to it. I'm like, oh. They're like, ooh, wow, creepy.
But credit to JD. He's like, listen, doesn't even matter. Like, we got a job to do. Let's go. Like, oh, that's scary though.
He did actually say that. So then what winds up happening is they get attacked by the Tengu warriors almost immediately, which is actually a little impressive if you think about this, because we actually don't know where Rita and Lord Zed's castle is at. So you have to imagine that these Tengu warriors probably had to fly through space
To get
where they're going,
right?
Because he did not teleport them there. He did not teleport them there. They flew.
They flew. Yeah.
So they were hustling all the way across space to get the Phaedos to know exactly where they are to fight them.
The music that they play that you know they're coming is do 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 do. Well, they got a cool little theme song,
right?
All right.
So they have this fight. The Rangers get saved by Dalcia,
who is very scantily clad,
who is a little pushing that PG rating,
which is on like they really let that rock for PG.
Yeah,
because she's
in a bikini.
She's practically naked.
Pretty much.
She's practically naked. But
that's something I should have asked JDF.
Oh yeah, like, so don't see it. How'd you let
For real?
Because
she was like 28 when she did that.
Yes, I would cut that out from just on Phaedos alone, but we'll get to that in a second. But the Tengu warriors attack the Rangers. Of course, Dulcia shows up and get to flipping her little whistle thingies.
Keep in mind, in this process, because Zordon has been knocked out, the Rangers lose their connection to the power grid, and in this process, they're humans fighting these Tengu warriors, and they kind of look like they're getting ready to lose. To be fair, when Dulcie actually comes out, brings in the whistles and whatnot, and basically says that you have to find the sacred spirit force of the Ninjetti. Of the Ninjetti, right?
Sacred animals of the Ninjetti.
Right. And the reason why is because apparently so apparently she knows Zordon from somewhere else. I don't ever think that gets brought up ever again.
Which is no, because she is so against him until they mention the name Zordon.
Right. So like Zordon, how do you know Zordon? You know, and he kind of says
that's the homie. You
right. What? Used to be my next door neighbor back in the day.
Like, Zordon, that's the homie, man.
He used to own a house on this hill over here on Phaedos.
Boyhead white guy, that's the homie. Yeah.
He doesn't really wear clothes. He just kind of has a meat bag for a body. Hey, Zordon, that's the homie, man.
Big floating head. That's my man. That's my man's right there. Yeah.
Kind of lives with a little annoying robot. Alpha.
Yeah.
That's the homie.
They're my people, man. You know that? But I do love the fact that they are on this planet for a reason.
Right.
They have to get these sacred animals and
right.
And then that will give them the superpower that they need to defeat Ivanus.
So they get these ninja uniforms, right? And the uniforms go very simple. You have Aisha is the bear. Mm-hmm. You have
Rocky's the ape.
Rocky's the ape. You have, I always want to say David Yost, but it's Billy. Billy is the wolf. Mm-hmm. You have Kimberly as the crane. Mm-hmm. You have Adam as the frog.
Which he hated.
Which, by the way, real quick, for those of you who don't know, Adam is a very famous voice actor. He played Ichigo Kurosaki in the English dub version of Bleach, and Bleach went on for like 26 seasons, and he's played a whole bunch of other guys. He played the main character in Akira, so he's been doing this forever at this point. So it's a little funny to kind of see.
We can't skip over the fact that and by the way, Tommy is also the Falcon,
right? And now, Tommy is the Falcon.
When Dulcia is kind of going to them and like, the Falcon, you're strong. Da-da-da. You get to the frog, he goes, "What's wrong? I'm a frog." Yeah, but frog gets the frog. Gets a kiss like a prince.
Gets a kiss. Right? He's not strong.
That doesn't help me right now. That does not help me right now. It's cool, and I'll take the peck, but it doesn't help me right now.
I mean, I'm down for it, but I kind of need more.
A frog.
So in this process, they begin kind of this journey. We do more cutting back with Ivanus a little bit. Just to kind of build these things. But at this point, we're just going to kind of keep talking more about what the Rangers do. First thing Rangers find is this skeleton body of clearly a Triceratops.
There's my cut that out.
Yeah. And it's kind of whatever. You know, it's a whatever fight. Like the minute Tommy finds the magic bone that's connecting this guy's head to the rest of his body, he pulls it out, and the thing is it's funny because for a movie that's an hour and 30 minutes, that's the one part that I was just like, okay.
This is really dragging.
Right.
But
then they fight these 4 rock warriors.
Now those are cool.
These guys were pretty dope because
cool.
Tommy almost gets shanked like almost immediately.
And like the way they didn't waste time to form what they were.
No,
like they was like immediately like boom, boom, boom. We're time to fight.
we're gonna fight. There's a fight to the death. You guys got to figure this out. And a couple tense moments, but I've always liked the way how Power Rangers sometimes solve a problem. Like the rock monster is right behind a boulder, so obviously toss said boulder over.
Yep, and that's there you go. There's your problem.
You know, Tommy does this really awesome ninjetti corkscrew kick, which is always something I've really liked about Power Rangers. Also, all of their moves have names. Like it could just be you know Falcon Punch, and it's just like a right jab,
right? Falcon Punch,
right jab, right? Just like. So they wind up getting the powers. And this is where my issue with this kind of is a little like, really?
On Thanos, right? Still on Thanos.
Right. But they get all their powers back and they get their costumes back. But it's the costumes of what the original Zorgs basically were. Like Jason totally looks like a T-Rex still. And I'm like, I know this is where maybe you guys were concerned about budget, but come on, this was a really good opportunity to kind of introduce some new uniforms, especially because he's an ape, bear, falcon, just something.
It's almost like they didn't they got the powers but didn't use them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's basically what it kind of boils down to, because when it comes to that final battle back on Earth. Now at this point they've already uncovered the Morphicons.
All the ooze is there.
All the ooze is there,
and Ivan has decided to go ahead and sentence all the humans to their doom,
to basically commit mass suicide,
which is terrifying.
And so all the parents in Angel Grove,
1995. Absolutely terrible.
Just walking and leap to our doom. Right. So when and the kid's name is Fred, by the way, not Ben.
Wow, that was a hard miss.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Fred.
It's Fred. So Fred, Bulk, and Skull and other kids head over to the construction site to save the parent. Once they realize what's up.
Like, oh Lord, we're having a big, massive party. Yeah, no parents, right? That's such a 90s thing. It totally is.
You're not concerned, right?
Right. No parents. We're just over here drinking Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Pass me that Hershey bar, man.
So of course, somehow Fred convinces everybody to kind of slow down these parents. Meanwhile, the Rangers begin their fight, and they're not in the Megazord yet. So it's actually kind of cool. I actually really enjoy this, but I gotta knock the CGI here.
That's horrible.
Because it's bad.
It's horrible.
It's one of those where it's like, yeah, you guys were on a $500,000 budget.
It's basically the Hornet, right? First fight's the Hornet.
The first fight's with the Scorpion.
Scorpion. It's so big to the point to where you expect for it to destroy something.
Right.
And it destroys nothing.
Right. It doesn't really do anything.
Like, for it to be this big, scary, earth-ending monster, he's very clean. He makes sure he doesn't destroy nothing except the Rangers.
Right, exactly. Like, when the Rangers get back, Angel Grove looks trashed. You could not tell me that the Scorpion did any of that. Because the Hornet actually destroyed part of the monorail, which actually becomes a plot point. Mm-hmm. But so they fight the Scorpion, and it's pretty easy. It's outmatched. It gets destroyed by the Zorgs itself. The Hornet looks like it's about to be ganged up on and defeated. When Ooze decides to go ahead, and because the monorail has been taken down, by the way, so the kids can actually get to the parents, Tommy has decided to use the back of his Falcon to help run it through, which that's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. The one thing that the one thing that always kind of cracked me up was like all of a sudden Ooze turns into this huge booger, like kind of scaling through to the Hornet, and Goldar says exactly everything that we're thinking. Go Booger Man!
Go Booger Man! And he becomes the
Hornet.
The Hornet.
I mean, he's dope. I'm not gonna lie, he's dope. He's powerful. He breaks the sword of the Rangers, and they decide to say we need to get out of Angel Grove. So they kind of take off into space, knowing that Ooze is going to be there.
I love how the plot point for this final fight, really for the movie itself, it opens up with them doing that special skydiving show in anticipation for Ryan's comet. And it's actually Ryan's comet that takes out Ooze at the end, which you never hear about it again until it actually happens.
Right. Good job tying that together.
God, sounds good.
So they get to Orion's comet, right? And they're kind of squaring off, and they decide to knee Ivan Ooze into the nuts. Which cheap move, Rangers? Real cheap move.
Hey,
come on,
cheap.
come on, we fight. Come on, the Scorpion fought clean. He fought clean all the way.
Clean. Didn't destroy a single car.
Didn't destroy a single thing. Come on, guys. That was literally a low blow.
Cheap move. But you weren't fighting you weren't fighting Ooze at the time. So I get it.
But Ooze gets destroyed by the comet, and the Rangers come home to a hero's welcome. Although Bulk and Skull could have swore that they were the ones that were the actual heroes.
No. And of course, Zordon comes back. Alpha's good.
Hold on the Zordon thing, because the Zordon thing is a little funny. Because they basically believed in the power of the Zorgs that they actually had to revive life. And I'm like, okay, that's just a thing that's happening now. Like you just brought someone back from the dead, and we're just okay with it. You know.
To his defense, though, this is the first time Zordon's ever really
died. Yeah.
Like died, and then we came back super happy. You never see him see Zordon extra happy.
right. And he's happy. Rangers.
He's extra happy.
I'm laughing a little too hard at that one joke.
Rangers.
And they get the hero's welcome that they deserve, and the movie wraps itself up pretty cleanly.
With a with a mid-credit scene. With Loretta and Zed coming back to Goldar and the pig, and they're like, uh-oh. And then, of course, leads to the best credit song ever, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Another song that you only hear.
Never heard again.
So, that's Power Rangers. Yeah. Let's
nearly 25 years later, how do you think it stacks up?
That's the
gotcha.
That's the gotcha, because I think almost 25 years later, the movie does hold up. However,
for kids it
holds up, but also it really holds up for people who were fans from the beginning.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you've never seen Power Rangers ever, you're going to think, this is a stupid movie.
This is retarded.
But us being fans, like it kind of holds a special place in our heart. Because it's one of those movies that it's, again, I gotta go back to how those 80s cartoons were. If you saw a G.I. Joe movie, right, or if you watched Masters of the Universe, for example, you may have really, really loved that movie. The movie could actually be really bad now by today's standard, like the 1991 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Which literally the best part of that movie is when they were not fighting and they actually took like a personal moment in there. That movie is fantastic because of that. This movie is fantastic because it was everything 90s that you could ask for, and you can really see like what kind of the culture of the 90s was, at least for a white guy. But that's what it was for me.
For the record, Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, was horrible.
1997.
Yes, but
that's another super throwback. I'm just kidding.
But for this to be the first Power Rangers movie, and it's more about the fact that we were there for the reign of Power Rangers.
Oh yeah,
we
were there.
We were there. We were part of it.
It was the height of its career at that point.
And don't forget the Diet Power Rangers, VR Troopers. Yeah,
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't. But let's get to some takeaways. Danger Neff, who's getting your that guy award?
This is actually a little difficult because is there really like a standout person? But honestly, it really is Tommy. Tommy in a lot of ways is who every kid wanted to be. Everybody wanted to be the White Ranger, mainly because the Green White Ranger like theory idea like was just cool. Not only that, but because of how not only just in this movie, but because of his presence through the next 25 years of Power Rangers stuff, Jason David Frank's character is just fantastic.
That chick award.
I gotta give it to Dulcia.
Okay.
Dulcia at least had more of a point than calling on Tommy to help him out. I'm sorry, I gotta kind of throw you under the bus. Throw you under the bus, Joe Johnson.
And then are y'all gonna hook up or what?
At the ending scene, like his arm around here, I was like, y'all are together. Y'all are together.
Like to look up and look back again.
I'm like, I mean, and that's okay.
And the kid Fred makes it that much awkward. He goes, "Woo!" He's like, "Hey, woo! What's this?" I was like, "Wait a minute."
All right, go ahead.
All right, who's getting your that full of work?
The pig. Yeah. I think the pig had so many puns that just I was like, please stop. It's not good anymore.
It's like the New York style pig.
I know. It hurts me. It hurt after a while.
Cut that out.
It has to be that little dino scene with the ninja thing. Either that. I kind of wish that fight would have been the Tengu Warriors. Like if the like I would like to see Tengu Warriors there instead. But all right, fine.
Iconic scene.
The very opening, that whole 10-minute segment of just pure 90s, from the opening credit, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to them dropping out of the plane, to them rollerblading until the first time they say, hey, let's go over here, and then teleport their way away. Everything leading up to that was so 1990s for me.
Yes.
My God, Jay Alonso is going to get that guy award.
I was really going to give it to Ivan Ooze.
It's a strong one.
It's hard not to. He's just such a cool villain. I'm going to give it to Ivan Ooze, actually, only because he, throughout the movie, he's campy and he does not care. I'm still evil, and I'm still going to get my job. When I set out to do, I'm going to get it done.
Brady Bunch of reunion. That chick award.
That chick award. I'm gonna give it to Aisha because she was just so fine. Aisha was fine. She was Karen Ashley. If you're out there, didn't we see her recently?
I don't know.
Wait, no. Me and Losar at New York Comic Con last year. Actually,
no, did you?
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh my God. Yeah. Aisha, she's gorgeous.
That full award.
That full award. I'm gonna do the double. No. I'm gonna give it to Zed and Rita, and the reason why is because
you know what? It's a good point.
You are set up in the show as these evil, diabolical problems we had to deal with. Forcefully, if we watch the show, we had to deal with you,
right?
And for the movie to come out to be reduced to just numbskulls.
Yeah,
I didn't too much care for that.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really solid point.
But granted, I didn't want them to be the main villain because I could watch a show for that.
Right, exactly. But I wanted them to have a role.
Yeah, they play a role in this, and once you get put in the globe, you're gone.
Right.
Now it's Goldar and the pig thing. That's for me. I was kind of cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm there with you. Cut that out.
I'm with you. That dino scene. I just didn't need it.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. And then, of course, for the end so abruptly with them just pulling out the little bone. Like, okay.
I'm like, okay, whatever. And iconic scene.
Iconic scene. I was going to say the first time they actually morph out because I was giddy when they morphed out for the first time. But I'm going to go with you. This movie's first 10 minutes are gold.
It is.
I mean, it is 90s, bleeding 90s gold. I mean, once again, the feeling you feel as a Power Rangers fan, The feeling you feel when, you know, you go through the whole backstory real quick, and then all of a sudden it smacks you in the face.
Right.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
Right.
And it just looks so clean. And of course,
It
the
is.
first scene, they're about to skydive. Oh, this is dope. This is
Right,
brilliant.
exactly. Like it almost felt like, you know how like Mission Impossible likes to do that now?
Yeah.
Where like the opening scene is always somewhat pretty dope for the most part before it like finally gets to like the actual story of what Mission Impossible basically is. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, you're right.
Well, that would be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Real quick.
Quick hits?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We got some quick hits, man.
Yeah.
You got to get some quick hits in there real quick.
Go ahead.
All right. There we go. So we'll do a quick 5 to get it out the way. Karen Ashley is the first African-American female in Power Rangers history whose name appears first in a Power Rangers feature film.
Good. Awesome.
That's what's up. Dulcia's look was modeled after an Amazon warrior.
Yeah, it was.
We can tell. The Yellow Ranger has 2 different versions of her saber-tooth tiger helmet featured in the film. Ordinary, and then the helmet that can change into Power Beam's version with 2 lights that shine from the saber-tooth tiger's eyes. Or just flashlights, basically, in a helmet. A crew member was sent to the hospital and nearly died after being electrocuted on set.
Oh.
Lord Zed's palace was built inside the commemorative pavilion on the Sydney Showgrounds where filming took place between September 15th, 1994, and the set was destroyed on December 22nd of 1994.
Wow.
When Zordon tells the Rangers about Ivan Ooze in the command center, there was a sequence deleted from the theatrical cut where Zordon mentions that the Order of the Meladon. Am I saying it right? Meladon?
Sure.
Yeah. Where the warriors who defeated and imprisoned Ivan Ooze in his containment chamber. Zordon also would have introduced new high-tech opt scan devices that would be included into the Power Rangers helmets, and only Aisha, the Yellow Ranger, and Rocky, the Red Ranger, would be seen using the new Power Beam helmet lights and the Power Scope scanner, respectively, in the film during the Oozeman sequence in the construction site. So they all got this power, but only Rocky and Aisha used it. Cool.
Glad that was cut that out.
Jason David Frank did many of his own stunts. We knew that, of course. Let me see. Filming the final scene turned into a disaster when local radio DJs caught wind of it and tried to turn it into a Meet the Power Rangers contest.
Oh, no.
In the result, bunch of fans crashed the set.
Oh, no. Oh, that's awful.
And last but not least, according to Paul Freeman, who plays Ivan Ooze, the movie was originally going to be done in the style of the TV show before the producers changed their minds and decided to put more resources into the production.
All right. And that would be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Real quick, a very special thank you to Jason David Frank for the opportunity to just have a phone conversation with us. That's so awesome. Sorry. But this was awesome. Las Vegas Comic Con is June 14th through the 16th.
We will be in the building. Come check us out.
We will be there. We will be square. We will be...
all been through there.
All been through there. Is that how it is?
Since we're rhyming.
Yeah, you know, I won a 90s thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Action boy now.
Action boy now.
Girl now.
That's how this show really should end. Just with that.
If I could find it on my phone, I really would play it.
Maybe we could convince Los to just
you know what?
end it with that.
You do your pub. David Neff, where can he find you?
You can always find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at David Danger Neff. I'm the co-host here at Back to the Classics. We will be back officially July 1st. I'm also the account manager here at Beat Network. You can catch all the latest stuff for Beat Network at beatnetworkonline.com, as well as all our other shows from Like Water for Chocolate and The Noise. Oh, you got it?
I found it. I found it. It's by Devo, by the way.
No.
Yes.
No, it's
by
not.
Devo. I didn't even know that. This soundtrack has some hitters. Van Halen's on the soundtrack.
Yeah, no, because the ending song that they said thank you Power Rangers was Dreams by Van Halen.
When you get that weird back and forth between Tommy and Kimberly.
All right.
And then Frank's like, oh no, I'm sorry, not Frank. Fred's like, woo!
My guy Jay Alonzo, where can they find you?
You can find me on all the social media simply at I am Jay Alonzo. That's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Of course, the Facebook page, Back to the Classics, a movie talk group, is up and popping. Go ahead and jump on in there and join the conversation. We'd love to have you. Also ran by my man David Neff is Spoiling the Classics, a spoiler-heavy movie talk group. Also on Facebook. Jump on in there. Spoil anything you want to. We'd love to have you here for the conversation. Of course, you can find us on BeatNetworkOnline.com. We will be back July 1st officially. We just took some time out of our little break to get you guys ready for Comic-Con. And of course, like Dave said, shout out to JDF. And getting up out of here, a little bit of...
Oh, epic fail.
I can literally see the scene right now.
This is kind of a long intro.
It kind of Action.
That's Back to the Classics.
See
Peace out,
y'all
everybody.
July 1st. See y'all. Peace.